Welcome to the second episode of On the Sofa with Nick. I've just sat and had a chat with Andrew Walker from Rame Marketing. We talked about everything from Google marketing, retargeting, YouTube ads, to creating good content, sorting SEO out, quality backlinks, a whole ton of stuff. So if any of those topics are of interest to you, you want to learn about getting your website ranked, creating better quality content, things like that, then stick with us and watch the interview. This is Andrew Walker on the sofa with Nick. So welcome to the second episode of On the Sofa with Nick. Today I'm joined with Andrew Walker from Rame Marketing. So say hello and tell us what you do.
Hi everyone, Andrew Leon Walker, run a marketing consultancy called Rame Marketing. So I've been a marketer for about 25 years. I work with my clients to help them develop their online presence, generate and convert more leads, and bring in more revenue.
Sounds good, sounds good. So we've got some notes this time, so we're not just winging it like we did on the last one so much. So we're going to talk about marketing in general, content marketing, maybe a little bit of social media, very much about digital marketing, Google marketing, video marketing, all that sort of stuff. So we know the marketing landscape's changed massively over the sort of last few years, 3 years, 5 years. A lot of focus on digital anyway. What's your thoughts on the current landscape? Why is an important place for people who are spending their time? They want to market their business online. Are we talking social? We're talking Google? We're talking content? Where should people focus their energy?
The traditional marketing answer is it all depends.
Okay.
I'd just like to start by saying that, first of all, to get people to recognise that the marketplace has changed dramatically. I grew up in traditional marketing, and so traditional marketing was print-based ads, exhibitions, events, advertising, and the impact of those activities is having much less effect on that audience, because people are just fed up. They don't want to be sold to. So the big change was a few years back with the website, Web 2 basically. So if you imagine in the old way of doing things that the channels to market were quite restricted. We needed to go to third parties. We needed to go to magazines or businesses that had those websites
Didn't have
that
that
controlled
direct
those
reach
channels.
yourself,
So we had to go through those third parties to get to the end user. Now we can become publishers in our own right.
True.
And we can target those end users ourselves. So we're pushing away the intervening barriers and doing it ourselves.
Go straight to market.
Straight to market.
Straight to customer.
Straight to
whoever runs the business owner.
Which is good and bad. It's good that it gives
There's
us
some pros and cons.
it gives us much more control over what we want to do.
Yeah.
But the biggest problem is that because everyone's doing it, it's really busy, and there's a whole load of mush and noise out there that you've got to cut through.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. So we got some notes on things that we were discussing earlier on, which was there's this thing about owned media, about earned media, and paid media. Let's discuss that a little bit. Can you clarify all those three things for the people watching?
Yeah.
And how we can leverage maybe each one of those things?
Yeah. And so those 3 areas, you've got to have a really good understanding of your own business, your own marketplace, your own audience, and what they're interested in, and how they devour content. Because at the end of the day, today it's all about content.
Yep.
Content drives the web. Content drives lead generation. Content changes brand perception. So owned media is basically the content that you are producing yourself, you're creating yourself, you're adding it to your website, your blog, your video channel, distributing it across social media.
Okay.
So it's all about what you're doing.
Owned content, the stuff that you make yourself and put out there via social, your email newsletter, your
it creates an
YouTube
interest.
channel.
You're educating people, you're entertaining them, but somehow you're engaging with them.
Owned stuff, self-created content.
Yeah, and that's really important for today's businesses.
Earned media
is more or less what we used to call PR.
Okay.
So it might still belong to you, but you're paying someone else to do it, or it's your own content that's being shared by others.
Yep.
So this is where the social signals come in. You know, the likes, the retweets, the people pushing your content out to their networks.
And that's kind of perpetuated by the social influence that you have. So I guess the better content you have, the more people that see it, the more likely that is to happen. You class that as earned when you create something good that somebody else either shares that you either paid for or you didn't pay for. Is that earned?
Not
where does the line cut?
It's when you don't pay them to do it.
Right, they do it off their own back
Yes.
because it's good content. That's
Yes.
classed as earned media.
Yes, and when I say PR, I'm not talking about you're paying a PR company to write your content. It's, you know, they used to talk in column inches in the newspaper and magazines.
Yeah.
So it's your stuff that's being published.
Yeah.
And paid media is generally advertising.
Paid
Advertising
editorials.
can be editorials, advertorials, print advertising, or things like Google Ads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
Owned
for a lot,
and paid.
Owned and paid, and for a lot of businesses, it's about getting the mix between the three, the balance between the three, to get the best result.
Okay. Cool. So something we talked about also was this 3-step process that Andrew has in his business and with clients, which is get found, get chosen, get repeat business. So let's talk about those 3 steps. If you can just elaborate on what that means and how people can do that.
So if we look at traditional marketing, then getting found was basically about advertising. So the businesses that had, you know, big marketing budgets, you know, could get found more
get
easily.
seen, just blast media.
Exactly.
We've got a budget, we can put it everywhere.
Exactly. The great thing about changes to the website, social media, and content marketing is it's created a more level playing field. So smaller businesses who are smart, agile, and get it can steal a match on those bigger businesses that are still monoliths and still doing things the old way.
Yeah.
So getting chosen in the digital world is about people finding your business. So that starts with your website.
Okay.
And that's about, you know, we talk about SEO, search engine optimization, and that used to be a black art, and some people will still tell you it is. Now basically, as long as you have your web structure optimized, so you've got a good web developer, the navigation is right, you've got a sitemap published, you haven't got any broken links, navigating from page to page is easy.
Yeah, so no negative marks.
Negatives, then that's a big tick. And then we look at the on-page elements, which is basically that, I'll give you an example. So I talk about content marketing on my website. So my URL structure would be, you know, Rame Marketing /content marketing, because that's an important signal for Google. Your
URL's right.
Your page title,
Yeah.
you know, should include that key phrase, content marketing. Your headers should include that, content marketing, and the body text should include content marketing. But bear in mind, you're writing for an audience, not for the search engines. So it's not just stuffing things in there.
You've got to kind of work that out. You've got to get a good balance there, I guess.
Exactly.
So you've got to get the behind the scenes stuff that the reader's not using all correct and in place, but also the content's got to be good as well.
Yes.
I've still got to talk about content marketing without the old style keyword stuffing that we used to do.
And that's a point that if you go into the meta tags, so you've got your page title, your meta description. Your meta description is important because that's what you see in the search results.
Yeah.
But that's really an invitation for people to click through. So get that message right.
Okay.
As an invitation for them to click through. But when you talk about key phrases, keywords, key phrases, there's still a keyword meta tag, and people still use that for stuffing key phrases in there.
Right.
Now Google haven't used that, I think, probably from about 1999.
People are still shoving them in there.
Still shoving them
Might
in
be
there.
guilty.
And there's, I don't know, I can't prove this, but there's a lot of talk that if you continue to stuff those phrases in there, rather than helping you in search, you'll get penalised.
Exactly the opposite.
Because the phrases might not even be appearing on that page or in that content, and that could be seen as a negative signal.
So initially, getting found, get the structure of the website right, get your keywords, right, but not keyword stuffing as such. Like what's that?
Keywords are still important, although Google are trying to move away from keywords and looking at semantic search, which is based on user intent, and your browsing history and a whole load of things. And there's books on it.
There's no tricking Google so much like it used to be.
No, they're trying to get away from being able to game the system.
Good quality content.
Good quality content that people, is relevant to the search phrases that people are looking for.
Yeah.
If you write good content, you will get found.
So that's the getting found.
Well, the other thing, just to add to that, is to make sure that your images are optimized as well.
So I always have trouble with the size of my images. I know we kind of we upload them as you want the highest quality image at the lowest file size. Well, they end up being huge still.
Yeah, there are tools that allow you to optimize your images, but basically, for the web, you don't need megabytes or megabyte-sized images. You need good-sized images because the thing is, yes, they've got to look good on a number of different browsers, but the thing that's really important is page load time. If your page is taking a while to load, and not everyone's got super fast broadband, that's another ranking signal to Google. If it's taking a long time to
it's difficult
to
for people to view it, therefore it's
so they'll
not getting as much preference in the search and rank. So getting found.
And also things like your file name and your image URL.
So you rename the images before you upload them to match the content.
So don't
I've done a bit of this.
But
it's boring,
6, 7,
isn't
8,
it?
9,
The truth
10.
of it is, it's boring to do.
It's hard work.
And people skip those steps and they go, image 0005, upload.
There's no easy route to it. But getting found, so that's just the first stage, getting your website sorted.
Yeah.
It's also about the content that you publish, create and publish. Now, if you think generally, when people have a website, what I've found is that I've ticked that list. I've got a website now. I'm going to move on and I'm going to concentrate on something completely different. But to me, your web should be like a live document.
Yeah.
The search engines like new content published on a regular basis, but we don't generally tweak our web pages. That's why having a blog can be really important.
Yeah.
You can upload new, fresh content on a regular basis, so the spiders are seeing this.
They're seeing that it's
new,
it's not old, it's been updated.
Pages are getting indexed. When they're indexed, they can get found online. And then we look at, if we're publishing content on our website, how do we promote and distribute it so that we can reach a wider audience? And that's where social media comes in.
And that's where you go into the sort of getting, we started on getting found, getting chosen.
Getting chosen is just as important as getting found. People come up to me and say, I need to get more traffic to my site. And I look at the site and say, well, the people who are coming to your site are not converting. Why is that?
Okay.
Is it because the content is wrong? However they come to your site, are you promising them things that you're not delivering?
Okay.
Or is there no content on it? Is it skinny content? Is it just like a brochure website? The old days of people took their printed brochure and just published it online. Which, people are not interested in that.
People still do it.
Yeah, they still
some of these flip-through magazines are such
and let me just say, if you don't learn anything from today apart from this, then this is a key point, and I'd be really happy for you to understand.
Tell
them. Today, because of the internet, more and more potential customers, buyers, are doing their research online, and they can be 3/4 of the way through the buying process before they start to engage with a business.
Okay.
The key point is this: if you believe that to be true, and there's plenty of research out there that shows that it is, if they don't find you initially, you're not even in the equation. So getting found is really important.
Okay.
Because if you're not getting found, then they'll probably go into the competition. Getting found and then getting chosen. So how do they choose you? You have to remember that when people come to your website, they're at different stages of the buying cycle. Very few people who come to any website, even an e-commerce site, are not ready to purchase immediately.
They're just browsing, doing some research.
And what they're looking to do is, can you can you give me a solution to my problem?
Yeah.
And remember, it's not about your products and services, it's about how you can help your audience.
It doesn't necessarily mean they're ready to buy.
No, but they might be at the sometime in the future.
Exactly.
And you want to make sure that you're still in the game.
Okay.
So you do that by having the information on your website that tells, basically it's about them, it's not about you.
Okay.
How can I help?
How can you solve their problems?
How can I solve their problem? And because they're at different stages, they might come initially, but you want to make sure if they leave, they come back again.
Yeah, so this is about making an impact. Once you've been found, it's about making an impact so that you become memorable.
Yeah,
You've helped them more than just say, we've got this product for sale, it's
Yes.
$99.99.
Yes.
You've given more information about it, you've told them how this product could help them, how it could fix the problem that they searched for in Google because they were trying to resolve some sort of issue.
There are different models that look at, the buying cycle. So, from people who are unaware that they've got a problem, that's why you get blog posts that say 10 reasons why your website sucks.
Yeah.
Someone reads it and go, I've got a great website, and then they read it and they think, actually it's not quite as good as I thought. Then the next thing you look at is, how can I improve the visibility of my website?
Yeah.
And then they say, okay, I've got a problem, maybe I need to engage with someone to help me here. And then you're basically narrowing the search. Pardon me. And whether in that stage, they might be looking to narrow it down to a particular company or business or a number, and then they invite you to pitch. But that's when you need to be looking at your testimonials, your case studies, your endorsements.
Trying to convince them.
You're trying to minimise the risk at every stage.
Okay.
If people are going to make a decision and invest some money, they want to know as much as they can know about you as a business, that you're not going to be disappearing tomorrow, that you can do a good job. You've done it for businesses they perhaps know in the past.
That's like the trust.
Trust
that you're building up some trust that people know that they can rely on you and you're going to deliver what you promised your website, which your website can be absolutely anything. Your website can say anything you like at all, and it very often can portray an image that isn't true. We can all make a really nice website. But
if I was standing on my soapbox, which is sort of around here, it's a bone of contention with me that it's a bit like if you were a 17-year-old kid and just passed your driving test today, tomorrow you can set up a driving school. That's within the law, and anyone can say they're a marketer.
Yeah.
So all I would say is that when you're looking to choose a provider, due diligence. Look at the person, look at their LinkedIn profile, look at their website, look at their previous clients, talk to them, talk to some of the previous clients, get a good feel.
Due diligence.
Make sure that they keep their skills up to date. That's a really key point.
So coming from the person who's setting the website up, it's key for them to go and get that stuff in place so that when they found them, when they want them to make the decision to choose them, that they've got that stuff in place on the website, maybe some video, testimonials, proof of concept or whatever it might be, proof that they can deliver the service that they are offering and selling on the website. It's not just like a smoke and mirrors website to try and get some business that they've never done before.
Exactly, and
proof.
I'm a great believer in for any clients I work with, the one thing I'd really push is to give them a voice. The analogy or the metaphor, I'm not too sure what it is, I use is that, and if any professional services out there, I apologise in advance, but if you've got a room full of accountants in various businesses, because they're all offering very similar services, doing the same thing, how do I choose?
Yep.
But if there's someone in the room who's got a voice, who's happy to stand up on the soapbox and say, this is what we do, this is how we can help, rather than the grey mass, they're standing above the parapet and providing something slightly different, but it's solutions based rather than the same old service that everyone speaks about.
Yeah. How do you stand?
And perhaps I'll listen to that guy, but at least I'll investigate.
Yeah.
If you haven't got a voice, why should I listen? That's what I say.
Okay. So we've got been found. We've now got chosen. Someone's decided they're going to do business with you. They're going to buy your product. They're going to book you. They're going to hire you for a service, whatever it is. How do you retain that client? The third part was get repeat business.
Get repeat business.
How do you either retain the client or get them to keep coming back to buy the product?
You can look at it from my point of view or my client's point of view. If I look at my client's point of view first, because as I said, I've spent a long time in marketing, and the one thing that marketers tend to do is focus on new business.
Yep.
They tend to forget that they've got a client base there already.
We've all been guilty of that. You move on to the next contract, or you move on to the next one. Yeah.
But these people already know you. You've done a good job for them. They like you, hopefully.
You've already gone through the found,
Exactly.
get chosen process, and you're starting again back at the beginning.
Can you offer them? What else? How else can you help those people? And the one thing that is also true that I've come across in the past is, especially when you have an organisation with when you have a sales team, and it all depends on how the sales guys are rewarded. But normally, most sales guys I've ever met are focused on targets,
Yep.
and that's how they're remunerated. And I can't remember, the old saying, I wish I had a pound for all the times this happened. Every time I'd go out and speak to clients that we'd had maybe for 10 years, but we'd only offered them this service. And when I took the time to sit down and speak to them and explained the other services that we had, they go, I didn't know you did that. No, I'm using someone else
we've
for
had
that. So, if only they knew, you could bring in additional business for a much cheaper cost.
Yeah.
Because
interesting. So working on your existing clients,
I don't know, about seven times more expensive
to find someone new.
Than it is to retain get more business.
So it's just communication, isn't it? You talk to the clients, you find out what else they're interested in doing, offering them different services. It's a bit like, I guess, like in an e-commerce world, it's a bit like when you go to Amazon, it says related products. If you're going to buy a microphone, would you like a stand or a pop shield or something like that? You may as well buy it all now, get a discount.
Yeah. And that's a really good point. I was at an event, a seminar before Christmas, and the speaker said that, and I'm paraphrasing here because I can't remember the exact figures, but it was like, if you go into McDonald's and you just buy a burger, they make something like 25 cents profit.
Yeah.
If you go large, they make about $1.45 profit. So if that go large, you want fries for that, accounts for about 60% of their profit.
Wow.
And just by a simple phrase.
Just that little upsell. Yeah.
Cross-sell.
You're buying
upsell.
it anyway.
Yeah, we need to, and that's why, you go to Amazon, visitors who bought this also bought these things.
Yeah.
Upselling
and cross-selling to a customer that's already either about to convert or is already converted and going back to them.
Yeah, and if you've got a database of your customers, you should be keeping your clients up to date with what's going on through, let's say, a monthly newsletter or a regular newsletter. But you should also be offering them these additional services. That I'm not saying you spam them, because if you know the client, you know what they bought from you in the first place, so you can understand what they might be interested in as well. So be a little bit smarter. Just
being smart about thinking what other things that you already do that could apply to the client that you've already got, and what else they might need.
Yes.
Cool. Okay, so we decided to start taking questions from the public. I asked for people to submit questions. I'm going to ask them to Andrew now. There's a few social media questions in there, which we decided to save for another interview where we're just going to talk specifically about social media marketing. So I'm just going to bring up one question today, and that is a complicated one. Are you ready for this? So it's from Richard Riley. Thanks, Richard. Really complicated question. I kind of understand what it is, but here we go. So what advice do you have for, get ready for this, for replumbing legacy web presence to remove outdated and out of favor metadata, seeding with correct and proper content that scores well with Google's new content scoring algorithms? I'm bringing that up on screen. So it's old content on the website. It's still relevant, but it's getting marked down by Google because it's old?
Possibly.
It's not.
What I'd say is that it's a good point. A lot of people have got websites out there, even blogs, with content on there that's years old. It's always a good idea on a regular basis to go back and revisit all the content you've got on your site to make sure it's still relevant. Things change over time. What we did once, like a few years ago.
Yeah.
Times have changed, algorithms have changed, they're perhaps not relevant.
The SEO game changed.
The SEO game changes.
A lot.
massive changes in the last couple of years. So your analytics will tell you how popular your content is. If you've got evergreen content, if you've got content on there that's still getting traction, and it's still of interest, it's still relevant
now,
then it's worthwhile and updating it. So my suggestion would be, let's say it's a blog. You have a blog that's a few years old, revisit the blog, perhaps add content to it, tweak it, maybe even change the headline.
Okay.
Look at the meta descriptions. The key things are your page title and your meta description. Now your page title should have the key phrase.
Yeah, it was out of favour metadata. So this is beyond me a little bit, but is that about the keyword stuffing that we were talking earlier
Possibly.
on? Like once upon a time you would have keyword stuffed it, and now maybe you're getting negative marks for that in Google, so it's not getting ranked, and maybe that's something you have to go back and fix.
That's possible. So
this is manual. You have to go back and do this. There's no piece of software to automatically fix all your old blog posts.
All I'd say is that you shouldn't have any keywords in that meta tag anyway. As I mentioned earlier, get rid of it.
Okay.
So it's your page title and meta description. Your page title should have the key phrase, and the closer the key phrase is to the beginning of the page title, the better.
Right.
Now your meta description doesn't really need, in terms of search, doesn't need to have the keyword. It can be used in there to emphasize it, and if you do, it shows up in bold in the search results. So it's probably worth it for that. But that meta description is really just that invite to click through. So bring your content up to date, republish it, and don't forget to change. It's probably done automatically perhaps on WordPress, but if you've got another system, make sure you're changing the date, because that's quite important.
So that doesn't affect your rankings if you change the date to it's a brand new. We're telling the world it's a brand new post now.
Yeah, the question I have, and to be honest, I'm not 100% sure on that, is whether you should. What you probably need to do is take down the old post, publish the new one. But if you've got a new title, you might have a new URL, so you might have to put a redirect in from your old post to your new post.
Right.
I'd need to look at that in a little bit more depth.
That doesn't give you any negative
No.
listing or rating that you took an old post down and republished it.
No,
is it like starting afresh then? Or
no, well, not really. If you've got redirects, let's say there was some inbound links to that post.
Yes.
If you just take it down, then you lose.
Then you're going to get some negative.
But if you redirect through a 301, then you should be okay.
Good luck with that, Richard.
It can get a bit complicated. And,
that was a bit complicated. Like I said, we'll come back to those other social media questions. There's something about Facebook boosted posts. I think that was from Joe. And there was another one from Dan about Pinterest. We're going to do a specific interview about social media marketing. We'll pull those back up. So this is the interesting bit that I wanted to get onto, which is video marketing. How do we make good video? How do we make that get listed, get found in Google? How do we get more YouTube views? And something I want to ask Andrew about is, I'll pull it up on the screen now. How did this happen? Where's my phone? Oh, I've got a screenshot on my phone. I'll pull it up on the screen of me listing my blog and your advert. I mean, literally, I was on preview. I just put my blog up. I was having a little look at it, and your advert for your blog came up as a pre-roll for mine.
This is on
Andrew's
YouTube.
very big at like retargeting, but I've never actually run retargeting campaigns. Sorry, yes, this is on YouTube. So I just want to have a little chat about video marketing, how to get the most out of YouTube, and how to do video retargeting ads.
Okay.
let's
First
discuss that.
First of all, let's just explain what retargeting or remarketing is.
Okay.
We all know about paid advertising. We know about Google Ads. When you go into the organic search results page, you see ads at the top, and up until last week, you would see ads on the side. Google said they're removing those ads on the side, which we'll just mention towards the end of the interview. So, if you think about search, advertising on the search results pages is mainly about key phrases. People type in phrases, of something they're interested in, and ads that are relevant to those phrases will show. Retargeting is basically, and go back to that organic search. People have not been near your website, so you're just hoping that they will click through to your website. Retargeting or remarketing is based on targeting people who have already visited your website. So when they visit your website, a cookie gets dropped in the browser. As they move around the internet, your ads can basically stalk them, follow them around.
Stalking.
So that's the concept of remarketing, retargeting. And you can do it on Google and you can do it on Facebook.
Done it on Facebook. I never actually ran any Google retargeting or any YouTube retargeting, but it was quite interesting. It happened so quickly. I literally just published the blog, had a quick look at it, and your ad was already following me. And that's probably because we were talking about this interview. At some point I've been on your website, and you didn't manually do that. It's automatically tracking who goes on your website.
Yes.
Your ad starts to follow me around.
There's a setup involved, and it's not free.
Yeah.
The one thing I say up front is that advertising on YouTube is much, much cheaper than advertising on the search results pages.
Okay.
So if you're paying, for example, £1 per click on PPC ads,
Ouch.
the same ad, a similar ad on YouTube, you may only pay 10p.
Yeah.
So it's definitely worth looking at YouTube. Now, retargeting. So if you want to set up a remarketing campaign on Google, it's done through the AdWords platform. So you go into AdWords and you set it up. There's a few things you need to go through, but you set it up on that platform. One thing to bear in mind is that if you're thinking about doing this, it's worthwhile going in either to AdWords or Analytics. You need to set up a remarketing list.
Okay.
Because basically you need to have 100 visitors to that particular page before it would kick in.
You have to do this for every page?
Well, you can do it to your
The
site.
entire site? I guess you get more granular if you did it on...
Yes.
You can do it on every page, I presume. You'd be more granular because you could say you were looking specifically at this.
Yes, and you can set up a number of remarketing lists. So you can have one that says anyone that's visited my website. And when remarketing first came out, that was the basis of it. But now you can get quite granular to particular pages. And you do a little bit of a sort of Boolean algebra to say, if someone's visited this page or this page, then show them.
Deliver this.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you set that up in the background. And then remarketing is generally for the display network. Just to let you know,
we're defining the difference between remarketing and retargeting.
So it's an interchangeable name.
Okay.
Is, remarketing, retargeting. So, but the thing to remember is that your traditional PPC ads are on the search results page.
Yep. You type in the box, the ad comes up.
So that's text based.
Yep.
Unless you're running an e-commerce site where you can get product listing ads, which are image based ads. But then you've got the display network, which is YouTube, Google properties, and then other businesses or websites that have signed up to something called Google AdSense, where they will say, we will show ads on our site, and if anyone, any ads that are displayed and get clicked, then they get a percentage of the revenue, and Google get a percentage of the revenue. And then there's YouTube. So that's part of the display network, but you can have YouTube advertising separately.
And I can pick where I want. So let's say this interview. I want this interview to be. I want more people to see the YouTube video. How can I decide what's a good audience to put this video in front of on YouTube? I can target that.
Yeah,
through, is it a bit like Facebook advertising? I target through like interests or
interests, and you can actually go in and say I want it to be on specific websites.
I could choose vloggers. I could choose different.
As long as I've signed up to the network and they take advertising, then you can target those areas.
Got you.
So if you're looking at YouTube specifically, so as you know, I'm experimenting with video.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, and I put up that teaser ad that is following you around. So when I set it up, when you're looking at video, so there's a sort of an organic side of getting the video found,
Sure.
and then there's a paid advertising. If you've shot a video and it's got a script, so people are speaking on the video, then when you upload the video, you should also upload the script.
We've done this with Roundup TV. Because the script is pre-written and it's read on an auto cue, we have it word for word. That's worked really well with Google rankings.
That's a key point.
That's
it's got to be
really
word for
well.
word, because if you think about, Google doesn't recognize images, doesn't recognize video, recognize text.
Yeah. So it knows the words that you're going to say
the
in the
phrases
video.
that you're speaking about are up there, and it can recognize
So it's
them.
key to get them into the script.
Yes.
Originally, when you're writing the
Yes.
script, put the key
That's
phrases in
important
that
for
you
search.
want to get
It's important
found for in search.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's also important for me if English is not your first language. I'm a Glaswegian.
You're not a local lad.
Yeah. But it comes up as a caption.
I'm not writing subtitles for this.
It comes up as a caption where people can read it. So that helps things get found.
Yeah.
But the other thing you should look at is there's quite a new thing where you can go in and create a card.
Yes. We did the
So-
same with Roundup. Yeah, they were really good.
You create a card.
Better than the little what did we call before the hotspots that you would have to draw around and add the link.
Yeah, you can still get that, the annotation.
Annotations. Yeah.
So you've got the card.
Just found
and
that
the
a
annotation.
bit clunky to use and didn't really like it.
Yeah,
The
'cause you've got
card
all
was
these
really nice how
balloons,
it swiped in.
Yes,
Mm.
that looks good because it can scan images from the video and you can select one
Yeah.
and then put a little message in there that
That's
says, so if you went on mine it says something or other and then my phone number,
Yeah.
which is great on a video.
Does that include in the ad? So if I want to,
No, that's just on the video.
just on my,
So
I know I've done it on my
that's
videos. I
free.
didn't know if you could do it on the ads when you're like pre-rolling my ad, because then you're going to drive traffic away from the ad, the video that you went there to watch in the first place.
Yeah.
I guess
But then
that's
again,
what we do.
at the end
That
of
is
the
what
day,
we do.
At the end of the day, what you're trying to do, you're trying to drive traffic to
Yeah,
your
this
own
is
website.
true. This is true.
And the other thing is annotations, because the nice thing about an annotation is you can add a web link to the video
Sure.
that's clickable through to your website.
Yeah.
And that's what you're trying to do, get traffic to your website.
Yeah.
Because that's where people convert. So that's the organic side. Don't just upload the video.
Yeah. Do all the extra bits
Do all the
to
extra.
make it work.
It takes a little bit more work.
And we put the script in the comments, not in the comments, but in the description below
Yeah.
as well. I don't know how useful that is, but we were getting ranked fairly quickly, and literally, I mean, okay, if you put the names in for the show, we obviously dominate the entire page.
Yeah.
But when we put related keywords in, I think it was the fact that we were doing the script, posting it in as subtitles, what do you call it?
Closed caption.
Yeah, and putting it in the comments below,
Yeah.
in the description, that was getting us ranked quickly. Not that lots of people were watching the video,
Yeah,
because
but
we were focused primarily on getting views on Facebook, but we're still getting ranked on YouTube, and I think that was what
the
it was.
important thing to remember is that more and more people are actually searching on YouTube. The difference is you've got the Google search engine, and you've got YouTube, which is owned by Google. If you search on Google, you get information from lots and lots of
Sure.
different sources. You search on YouTube, you're only searching
Just
YouTube.
inside, yeah.
But a lot of people are searching for solutions or video to watch
Sure.
on YouTube.
Because it's just an easier way to consume and to maybe solve a problem. You can watch it visually rather than
Yes.
having to read it, and a lot of people
Yeah.
learn like that.
But unless you're a massive brand, what you should do is create a YouTube channel, upload your video to YouTube, and then take the embed code and add the video to your web
Sure,
pages.
yeah.
And that's reasonably easy.
So we've got organic video results, we've got a bit of paid advertising and retargeting.
So what I've also done with my, let's say, teaser ad, is to set it up as an ad. So people can go and search for it organically. But I've got it as an ad as well.
So it's getting listed in the results,
Yeah.
not just pre-roll on somebody
Yes.
else's video.
Yeah, so I've set it up. One is a pre-roll. A pre-roll is when your ad appears in front of someone else's video, and it shows for, I think, 5 seconds,
Until you can skip.
and before you can skip it. And you only pay. I can't remember what the cut-off is, but you can watch a lot of the video before you actually get charged.
Okay.
So all the call to action should be near the beginning. And I've also set it up for to appear as an ad on. So if you look on YouTube, you search on YouTube, you normally get the main result, the video in left of centre,
Yeah.
and then you get additional information on the right hand side,
Sure.
and that's where your ads can appear.
Okay.
So that will appear there as well. And you can actually, you can look at the placements and target interests or particular videos or sites that you want to target. So one thing I'd like to add is, again, remarketing. So when people visit my site, my ads can follow them around.
Yeah.
You can set up a remarketing list for video. So when people view your video, your ads can follow them around the internet.
That's quite interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if someone watches this, and obviously they're going to love it.
It'd be fantastic.
We want to put the next interview in front of those people when we publish it, so we can run that. And can we do that automated? We're going to have to do it every single time we upload a video. Can I put like my latest video in front of everybody who's ever watched one of my videos?
Say that again.
So when I upload episode number 3, can I say, right, every time I upload a new video to YouTube, automatically run that as an ad in front of everybody who's watching? Automation.
Not that I know of. There's probably someone who could do it. With clever.
But ideally, you have to go in and run
and JavaScripting.
An ad for that one.
But it would be cheap.
Okay. Well, we'll move on to the next section, which is Google is a pain in the ass. It's always changing. This is going to be the last section. So what are the changes that you've seen happen in the last, let's say, 12 months? And what do people need to know to get found? What do they need to do to their website? What do they need to do to their kind of internet presence to get found?
Okay.
What do we need to know?
So if we go back, let's say we go back a couple of years, and Google made some quite big changes to their algorithm. Panda, penguin, hummingbird. It was geared at backlinks.
Sure.
Backlinks to a website are still important, but they've got to be relevant to your business.
Okay.
So in the past, I'd say unscrupulous SEOs, people I speak to say, well, it was best practice. It was never best practice, but they could get away with it.
Okay.
And that was, they would buy links from...
We've seen this practice a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an industry of,
it was industry
backlinking to get you
against
traffic.
Google's guidelines, but people did it because they could, and they got away with it, and it worked.
And that doesn't work now?
It works a lot less well.
Because what I used to see, I saw someone once watched a tutorial on how to get backlinks without getting sort of negative, or coming from lots of different like wikis and stuff like that. And one of the things they did was put out like, what do you call it when they mush up an article into a million different ways? So it would reword it, so it would look like lots of different... repurposing, lost the word here. Repurpose an article in lots of different ways, and they put it out to all the wikis, and there was ways of automatically submitting it, but instead of... And the idea being you're getting lots of links from those websites, but instead of doing that and driving traffic back to their website because of their negative listings, what they did is put it through somewhere like Squidoo. I don't even know if that still exists. And then they'd write a really high quality article on Squidoo that they would link all those backlinks to, which had authority, and then link the Squidoo article back to their website. So I wonder, does that, I'm going to presume that doesn't work anymore. It's the quality of the backlink that you want.
It's all about quality. But the other thing I'd like to say is that I still see bad practice working. So although Google are improving it, it's not gone at all. So I have arguments with people, some of my peers who say, yeah, I understand all this, but I'm still doing this, and I'm getting results for my client.
Okay.
And the only thing I can say is that it's working now, it might not work tomorrow.
For now,
If it doesn't work tomorrow and you get penalised, one, it might take years to get back up the ranking, or you might never get back.
Yeah.
So it's a risky venture.
So one thing to know about is good practice in backlinking, no spammy backlinking.
And you can check your backlinks on Google Webmaster Tools or Search Console as it's called now.
Search Console?
Yeah. If you don't know how to do it, your web developer or whatever can do it for you.
Call you.
But you don't call me. But it's something you as a business should get into anyway. Looking at your analytics, looking at your Webmaster Tools, quite important. And the other thing, what was I talking about? Web links.
Yeah, spammy backlinks.
Spammy backlinks, and the other issue that was resolved during one of the algorithm changes was skinny content.
Yeah.
Websites that had next to no content at all.
Yeah.
They got penalised, and that's why content's becoming more important.
More in depth, more good quality content, relevant backlinks.
Pushing semantic search.
Okay, semantic search. We'll come back to that one.
It's just what we're saying that, digital technology offers up so many opportunities, but it's not making our life easier.
Yeah.
If you do it properly, you can steal a march on your competition, but it's not. It's no magic bullet. It's still hard work.
Sure. There was something we talked about off camera earlier on, which was about HTTPS.
Right.
What do we need to know about that? Because I'm always a bit confused about buying like security certificates for domains. How important is it? What do they do? Is this going to be an issue in the future?
HTTPS was always a key point in e-commerce sites when you were, buying things.
Yeah, when there's a financial transaction,
Exactly.
you need to know that transaction is secure. Your credit card details are
But
kept
there's
secure.
a lot of chatter around that Google want to make HTTPS a stronger ranking signal. So, towards the end of last year, they did. If you remember, for years Google have been saying, it's important you have a mobile-enabled site.
Yep.
And they gave people a long time to get it sorted out. A lot of people didn't bother. And then they introduced this, if you went onto the search results, especially on a mobile.
Especially from a mobile, yeah.
It said mobile friendly.
Yeah.
And then they changed the algorithm that would penalise people on a mobile search.
That's what I was going to say, yeah. You get higher ranked if you had a mobile
Yes.
device, if the search was coming from a mobile.
So they're doing something
which
similar.
more and more often it is.
Yes. Yeah. Most traffic today now comes from mobile or mobile enabled devices. So more than 50%. Desktop is in decline.
Yeah. And that's only going to continue.
It's only going to
There's no two ways about it. That's
Google
going to continue. More and more is going to go
focused
mobile.
on mobile. So another point is, if you're in the process of getting a new website developed, and your web developer comes back with scamps of this is what it's going to look like on a desktop, give them a kick out the door and say, come back and show me how it's going to work on a mobile device, and then that's the primary issue, and then how it looks on the desktop.
It's interesting, mobile first.
Mobile first, we're completely turning it around.
So is it, I know how to build WordPress websites, we make them mobile responsive, they work really, really well. Yeah. Is there any benefit to having a dedicated mobile website over a responsive desktop site? Because it's not that difficult if you know what you're doing with WordPress.
We went that transition, didn't we? You've got your main website, you've got your mobile website. If you've got I'm a big fan of WordPress. My site's on WordPress. Responsive design, that's fine.
Brilliant. Good.
The just to finish that point. So HTTPS possibly maybe around about April could become a stronger ranking factor in search.
So what do we need to do to ensure?
Talk to your web developer or your web host.
Right.
Web hosting companies will offer.
But does it involve just buying a security certificate for a domain, or is there anything else involved?
Changing your domain name as well, because it's. You might see a lot of sites now that get rid of the wee willy winky. So it's like if you look at Remarketing, it's remarketing.co.
Yeah, mine is. Yeah.
Then it would be HTTP moves to HTTPS / remarketing.co.uk.
Yeah.
So you got to get it done right, or else it can.
Best not to do it yourself. Speak to your web developer about security certificates if I can get it out.
Yes. Google Analytics is really important for your website. And most people have analytics on their site, but they don't look at it. Or they look at the headline and it says, I got so many visits this month.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's about as much as I do.
Yes. And we're all guilty of it, but it can give you some really, really good information about what's working on your website, what's not working, and that can help, especially from a content marketing point of view. Where am I getting traction?
Yeah.
Which articles
are working?
So
what
let's
do
do
people
more of those
like?
articles.
Yeah.
What are people not interested in?
Yeah. Do they like the top 10? Do they like the how-to? What sort of stuff is resonating?
Yes. Resonating?
Resonating?
Yes.
Spit it out.
Yeah. But most people don't look at it. But there are, and again, most people don't know there's something called Google Tag Manager. So it used to be that if you wanted changes to your website that enabled code changes, you needed to go to your web developer and you had to put in some other code behind the scenes.
Right.
A while back, Google introduced this thing called Google Tag Manager, which basically adds a container behind the scenes. You know, so and your analytics code is contained in the container. But they brought it in so that to make it much easier to add additional changes to your site that allows you, let's say, more features, more information, without being a web developer. Okay. It can still be a little bit complicated, but my advice is if you haven't got Google Tag Manager running on your site, you should have.
Never used it.
If you want to know more about it, talk to your web developer. Guarantee that most of them won't even know what Google Tag Manager is.
Really?
Find a web developer that understands
what it is.
And how it can help you.
Cool. So I think we've covered quite a lot today. Some really technical stuff there as well, but it should help people understand a bit more about retargeting, remarketing, how Google's working, things to look out for. Where can people find you?
If anyone wants more information on how I can help their business, or even a little bit more about content marketing, you can visit my site, Remarketing.co.uk. My email address is andrew@remarketing.co.uk. You can find me on LinkedIn, Andrew Leon Walker, Facebook, remarketing.co.uk, Twitter.
We'll put all the links in the show notes as well.
Google
Twitter,
Plus.
Sorry, I interrupted your Twitter. Rame Marketing.
It's all Rame Marketing. So it's important from a branding point of view that you try and get your...
Okay.
An interesting point about social media. If you're setting up your business or you're looking to get involved in the social media, go in and claim your handle on all the social media sites that you may or may not be interested in. Claim the handles anyway, because if you do it on Facebook and then you think, oh, wait, I'll leave Twitter till later, and then you find someone else who's got that handle, you'll be a bit annoyed. Yeah,
it's not as easy. It's easier said than done sometimes as well. You've got to find something unique that hasn't been taken on. You've got to try and find something that's available on all the platforms. I have struggled with that.
It's not easy.
Yeah, especially when you want your own name when it's gone. Yeah. Thank you for joining me on the sofa.
Oh, I enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
Cool.
Hope it's been of interest.
See you later.